Hello, hello, good evening. It is 6:23 and I am 23 minutes late. My name is Patience Holt and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Central Arkansas. I am in Maumelle. I am north of the river from our capital city of Little Rock. And I have been trying desperately to get logged on. And it's that one little thing, just one little thing that I did not have clicked that was keeping me from getting logged on and getting everything checked off my little boxes. So I am here and ready to show you my gorgeously made cards. And I'm not bragging on my cards. That is the name of the stamp set that I'm using from the Stampin' Up catalog. However, you can't help but make a gorgeous card when you use this stamp set. So they are gorgeously made. I used this stamp set in a retreat that I did in June, and everyone liked the cards, and I'm going to show you the cards that we did at a retreat. I've been posting them, so if you follow me on Instagram, I have been posting them there. I've also got them splattered all over Pinterest and splattered all over my Facebook. So if you follow me, I do have those out there sprinkled in with some other things. I really fell in love with the paper. It's called Masterfully Made Designer Series paper. And for the retreat, I ordered everyone a full package, and we probably went through the full package of the paper. I know I did. Going through and making samples, and I know I've sent a bunch out. I lost one. We found it at the retreat, so I even made extras. So I want to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Patience, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Central Arkansas. I would love for you to like my page, follow me on Instagram. I have a Pinterest page. I do have a YouTube where I will download this, and you can watch that later at your convenience. And hopefully you will get some inspiration to make your own cards. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to check to see if I can find myself. Earlier I could not find it, and so I restarted my computer, and then I had trouble because I couldn't find that one little thing I didn't check off my list. So let's see if I can find it right quick. There I am. And okay, wait. Oop. Don't want to do that. And okay, wait. Oop. There I am again. Okay. Okay, there we go. I want to silence that. I see that I have a couple of viewers. If you will just comment and say where you're from, I would love that. For some reason, I cannot see my comments. I have tried. And then when I do get a chance to see the comments, I lose my video. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to turn it down, and I want to get started and show you what I have. So let's see if, yes, I have my desktop here. I have a lot of stuff on my desktop. We're going to be doing some die cutting, and let me grab a drink of water right quick. Okay. I have a PDF here. When you purchase a minimum purchase of $35 and use a host code, if you use the current host code with me, you get a kit, and the kit will be my current class. And right now, my current class until the 15th of the month is the Gorgeously Made. And let me just go ahead and pull the cards over here that I consider gorgeously made. And here they are. This is my hello card and my you're a great friend card. And then this card is a very special card. I really enjoyed putting this together. I took this from a template from a birthday card because it is actually a gift card holder, or it could be a birthday card holder, a gift certificate holder, money holder, but you can open it up and take this out and put some money in there or a gift card. It is a pocket at the bottom that is perfect for a gift card. So for purposes of my video, I use this, and you will get this size in your kit. This size, this is a contoured die. You will get that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first card I want to show you is this one. This is the hello card. Now, when you get a card kit, you will get, it will look like this. It will come, you will get 2 cards. You'll get 6 cards, so 2 each of all 3, and they will look like this, and you will have your PDF with you. I will email your PDF on the day that I ship out your package. So let me go ahead and get this stuff together. Let me get a few things out of the way. Get my bone folder. Burnish this right down right quick. Okay. Let me see if I can see any comments. Okay. Oop. I just cannot. That's okay. It's called. Okay. Oop. I just cannot. And I cannot seem to turn my phone off. All right. So let's see. I know I did not stamp on the inside of the card, but I want to for this demonstration. So this stamp set, and it's sitting on my other desk. Let me grab it. I have to laugh because I always do this. This is the stamp set, and it has 7 stamps in it, 3 sentiments and 4 images. And these are large images, and they are very versatile. I really, really have enjoyed this stamp set. We are going to use this particular image, and it looks like writing, like pages of a book. And we're going to use the Azure Afternoon ink. And we are going to stamp off. And stamping off is you will stamp and then stamp off to get a lighter image. I'm actually going to use both on the inside of my card. So I'm going to stamp and then stamp off. And that's all I'm going to do for the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the inside of my card. Okay. And right now we have a promotion going called Bonus Days. And if you're familiar with like Kohl's Cash, Kohl's Bucks, you spend money and then you earn bucks. And the bucks that you earn are for every $50 you earn, $5 coupon to spend next month. And you get your bucks in an email. And today I went through, I'm just stamping this and stamping off on the front. Today I went through my email and copied and pasted my bonus days coupons into a document so that it will be easy for me to find those when I'm ready to spend, because I don't want to have to look for the email every time that I'm ready to spend my $5. Okay, so when you get your card kit, I will have everything you need in there. Now, this is a part of the dies that you get with your die set. You will need the stamp set and the die set to complete this. I will not send you the dies that you get with your Gorgeously Made. We're going to be die cutting here in just a moment. We're going to die cut these two beauties. I went ahead and die cut this little one because I had some extras. So I was being a little lazy. And I went ahead and just put that in there. But you will be die cutting that one. But since this circle is not part of this set, I will be providing this for you. And on my directions, I tell you to go ahead and stamp on and stamp off on that. And that's what you do with the words that we have here. The letters, the lettering, or, you know, the pages of the book that are listed here. I think that's enough. Okay. All right, now I also have some of that on the edge of this. And we have the words hello. The word hello. Okay. And this is already loaded up on my little block here. Let me see how that stamps pretty good. Okay, let me see if I can do this out of the camera. Get a little closer to me. Whoops, that's kind of crooked. We're going to turn that baby over. Okay, let me get right here and do it. There we go, much better. Okay, now let's do that. There we go. Okay, let me get these out of the way and close up my ink. Now let's do some die cutting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these out of the way. We are going to die cut. Where's my yellow piece? I know we're going to die, here it is. We are going to die cut a bushy piece out of this and the leafy piece out of this. And then on the card, this has like a notebook binding or like a zipper. I've seen someone make it look like a zipper. It was really cool. So we're going to run this through our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I will show you how this works. Now, every mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is different. And it's different in how tight this is. I have found that with my machine, I don't use the white base. I use the gray base. And I change my plates out like you would change a tire. When your tires get bad, I know you rotate tires. I usually take my worn tires and I put the worn tires on the front, or actually the more worn tires, since I have a front wheel drive, my more worn tires go to the back and new tires go on the front. So when this gets to looking really, really ratty, and it's the one that was on the top, I put the ratty one on the bottom and put a new one on the top. That way, so your paper on the top does not get dirty. Because you don't want your die cut to come out of your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and then it's dirty, and you don't want to stamp on a dirty piece of paper. So I've always changed out that top one with a clean one, and I've always kept it on top until it starts looking ratty, and I'll put it on the bottom. So that's just a little tip that I use to keep my paper looking really good. Now, it's not as noticeable on like a blue piece of paper, but when you have white going through there and you have specks of sticky and specks of paper, they get stuck on your paper because it's on the bottom side of that top plate. It's very noticeable. Okay, I'm going to put that over the side and run this one through. That went through really easy. I didn't hear any cracking and popping. I like that. Okay. That over the side. And now we're going to get this piece. And where did I put that little zipper? Here it is. Okay. Okay, I don't guess it matters what side it goes on. I usually have some Post-it note tape to hold this down. I think it'll stay in place pretty good. Here we go. All right, let's move that out of the way. Woo, that did stick down there. Okay, so there's our one piece. Ooh, I may have to run that through again. This may be my looser of the two machines. So I'm going to run this back through. I do have two. One of them is tighter than the other, and it cracks and pops and moans. Sometimes it acts like it's going to break, but it doesn't. Now, when you get to where you don't have any cutting, you can put a little paper shim in there, and it will help cut your paper. So let's see what the back side of this one looks like. Yeah, it'll cut. There we go. Okay, let me get my take your pick tool, and we will poke these things out. Okay. Now I like to poke all of these out, but now I have seen some that leave them in, leave them out, you know. It's your preference. All right. If you need more information on bonus days, you can go to my website. It's notesfrompatience.com. I've also got a lot of information on my Facebook page. Okay, let me get this. Okay, this is really coming in, stuck in there good. It's a good die. There we go. Let's see. Get some more of these popped out of here. There we go. Got them all popped out. Okay, we're ready to put this card together. Let me put these dies over here. Put the lid on that so I don't lose it. Okay, so in your kit you have a straight piece of paper that goes right there. I've got everything cut and measured, and in your PDF you will have all the measurements so that you could duplicate these cards. This is a pretty easy card to make and duplicate with other DSPs, with other paper. So, and you know, the, what am I trying to say? The card sketch, you don't have to make it exactly the same as I've got it. I know there are people that attend my class that they take what I have presented to them and they make a whole new card, and I'm amazed at how they do that because I am not that creative. Okay, I know I had the circle. Here we go. I lose things and they're all just right here. Okay, Stampin' Dimensionals. I love these Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to be popping this up. But before we do that, I'm going to put a little bit of seal right here because my label that says hello, my sentiment is going right there. But I'm going to put this bush right there. And then I'm going to put a little bit more seal. I'm going to put this on it. Okay. And then I'm going to take some mini glue dots. And I'm going to set my sentiment that says hello. Let's turn it over to get the straight one. There we go. And pull off and then just set that across. I'm not popping it up because I'm actually popping up the entire circle right here with my Stampin' Dimensionals. Now on this, I usually only do about 3, but I'm actually going to do 6 this time, 5 around, and then 1 in the middle. That way it pops it up really good and gives it a little more stability. Now, when you order $35, you get the 6 kits to make these cards. When you order $50, not only do you get the bonus days coupon, but you will get a package, a full package of the Adhesive Backed Sequins Trio that goes with the masterfully made paper from me. And that is what I am adding to this card right now. I'm using the white sequins on here. They have a little bit of an iridescent shine to them. And let's see, let's put that right there on the blue. There we go. And how about that? I just love the way this turns out. And this blue color is really pretty on, I'm making a card right now for a swap with ocean front and the blue, and it's gorgeous. So there you go. Okay, the next card that we're going to make is the gift card. Gift card holder. And like I said, if it is not a part of the die set, and you'll get envelopes. And don't forget, while you're stamping, to stamp your envelope. We always stamp our envelopes. We don't ever have any naked envelopes that come out there. Okay, so when you get your card kit, you will have the dies that you need that are not part of the suite, a part of the bundle. So these 2 came from the scalloped contour dies. So I will provide those for you. So let me put everything else away for right now. Let's do our stamping first. So there is a stamped image in this. We're not going to stamp on that. We're going to stamp on these 2 things. That is long. And I have a block that it goes on. And you could use the E block, I think, this one, and put it long, put it sideways. If you don't have this one, this is the I block. I've got a couple of these, and I like them because I also use them as paint palette. But load it up on here, and we're going to use Berry Burst, and we're also stamping off with the Berry Burst. But we are going to, on this big one that goes on the inside, we're using both sides because you might want to write on the back. But for the front, we are going to make sure we get ink on all of our stamp. And I'm just tapping it. And I'm going to stamp and then come down and stamp off. And then I'm going to ink it up again. And I'm going to go this way, stamp, and then stamp off. And I'm going to put that aside and bring my small piece that goes on the front. I'm going to do the same thing. Ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp and then stamp off. And same thing crosswise. Now I know it has foliage on top of it, but I want this to be behind it. Okay, so I'm going to put that away. And then I'm going to get my Lost Lagoon ink. I think that's the last that we'll use of Berry Burst. Let's see. Yes. Get my Lost Lagoon ink. And in your PDF, I'll let you know what ink colors you'll need to complete the project as instructed. Now you can, if you have another stamp set you'd rather use, by all means, you know, substitute that in there. You know, a lot of people already have their own stamp set that they want to use. Certainly do that. Okay, so we're going to do this. It says thank you. I made this a thank you card because I didn't have a sample gift card to put in there. So let's get this and let's stamp thank you on here. Very good. I'm going to take this off. I've got another stamp to use with that. Okay. And then we're going to get this leafy stamp. Ink it up. And I'm also going to stamp this across whatever I've already got on there. And this would be perfect to stamp on your envelope too. And then I'm also going to stamp on the back, but at the bottom to leave me room to, you know, write a few words if I wanted to. Just go on across like we're just going on across. Okay. And now let's do this one. Just going to go right across this like that. Very good. Okay, I'll set that over to the side and close up my Lost Lagoon. Okay, now it is time. That goes with this card. Let me put that back in there. I'm going to do the die cut, and then we'll put this new card together, and I'll show you how that goes. So, in your kit, you will have these two. And again, that is for the leafy and the bushy die cuts. Okay. So, the leafy one is the green. Let me make sure I poked all that out. I did. And it goes pretty quickly. Let me run that back through this way. Let's make sure we got it this time. Yep. And then the bushy one with the boho blue is the color of this one. Okay. Boho blue and Lost Lagoon. Let's see if that looks good. Okay, now, see how that does not have a, it's got a little, a dead space in it. What I'm going to do is take this piece of paper, I'm going to cut it in half, because it's too wide to go through there. I'll cut that in half, and I'm going to put that right here. And turn my die cut over. This will give me a little more thickness in here to help that die cut on through. And that's called a shim. There we go. See how that just helped it. So we know this bushy one is going to need a little help. Okay. All right, take your pick tool, and someone is at the door. They're going going to have to wait. Always happens during a live, don't you think? Maybe it's just a delivery. Okay. This one is really in there because it's so delicate. It is a detailed die. It is very detailed. There we go. Perfect. Just going to punch out the other pieces that didn't come out. There we go. This one, sometimes we have dies that just will not come out, and there's always a little secret. This one seems to come out pretty good. I like that. There we go. All right, on this one, I'm not going to punch out all the leafy stuff. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do what I did last time with just a little bit of adhesive with a little bit of seal. Okay, this one's getting a little stuck on me. I may be running out. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to put it, it's going to run off because this is smaller, of course. That's why I like it so much. There we go. And then the green leafy, like this. Okay. Now, I didn't see any ribbon in that packet, did you? I've got it though. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to give it some adhesive. And we're going to center it in the middle of this berry burst scallop contour piece. I've already got it cut. Like I said, I'll have everything cut for you. Okay, let's put this card together. We have it ready to go. Now, since you see this is a regular 4 1/4 by 11 piece of paper, but I have it scored in different places. And I've got that scored differently because it shuts differently. It's going to shut like this. So I've got it all done, just cut and measured for you. Got my paper cut for you. And I've got it all done for you. I like that. It's a card kit. You'll get 2 each of 3 designs. So let's get on with the project. And this is a fresh freesia. I like that. I love the different designs. And they've got peacock, lost lagoon, fresh freesia, berry burst. All right. Let me grab that punch. I've got to have a circle punch for that. Okay. Now, this is a 1 3/4 punch. And I am just barely going to stick it in there. I'm just going to eyeball it. Woo! It shouldn't be this hard. There we go. And then you'll need some tearing tape to put along the edges there. If you want to use glue, you could use the glue. I like the tearing tape. Easy. It's because I'm not as messy. Okay, I'm going to have to check the door right quick. Excuse me. Okay. So, do your tearing tape. Sorry about that. I was out of the frame. And then you could stick your card in the side. So let me get this all zipped up for you. Like that. And then your card will just slide right in there. You've got plenty of room. And if I had a credit card, I'd show you. But it fits the credit, the gift card would fit right there. Then you could put this right behind it. So now let's put this on here. Now I don't want to pop that up because it would be too bulky. So let me put a little bit more seal on this. And then we'll get the ribbon and tie our bow on there. We're going to seal this down. Okay, I just messed up. My doorbell ringing kind of threw me off. So let me get this adhesive off of here. One thing that you need to be mindful of, and I have this in the directions because I did this the first time. When you go to put the front on, you're going to put it as if it's in the middle of the card. And if you put seal right there, you're going to seal it shut. And that's exactly what I just did. But I just took it off. So right there. And now let me make sure I get all that sticky off there. Okay, let me grab that ribbon. And we'll put a bow on this card. Okay, and then we'll be finished with this card. All right, let me tie a bow. I really thought I had that ribbon in this package. I guess I didn't. And I don't tie the bows for you because not everybody wants to tie a bow. But now if you came to my in-person class, I usually tie the bows for my girls in my in-person classes. There we go. I don't have my ribbon scissors handy. I don't know why. I think they're still in there on my table. Okay. And then I'm going to get my glue dot. Put that on the front. And voila. We are done. And we have a gift card holder. We're not done either. Okay. We got to have those sequins on there. So that's, you want to go ahead and, you know, do the $50 purchase or more so that you can get these beautiful sequins. Because it really sets them off, especially this green. This is the Pretty Peacock. Yeah, that looks good. There we go. All right, so for our last card, we have a gorgeous card. I think this is the prettiest of them all. This card has a lot going on, but it comes together very quickly. It's Pretty Peacock is the main color, and it has Lagoon, and Melon Mambo is the offsetting color on that. It has white sequins on it, the iridescent sequins from the Sequins Trio. And if you'll notice, it looks like the paper's cut crooked, but it's not cut crooked. It is distressed. So I'll show you how we did that. But first of all, we're gonna just go ahead. I've got this card upside down. We're gonna go ahead and put the card together and then do our stamping. So I want to show you how we're putting this card together, because it does have a lot of layers. And I want to show you this ribbon. This ribbon's real thin, but it was the same ribbon that we tied the bow, but I just cut it in half. So let's put the card together. It is a thick white card base. And then you're going to take your Lagoon and put it down. And it has an 1/8 of an inch border all around. Then you're going to take your Pretty Peacock Masterfully Made. See, the other side of it's beautiful too. But for this card, I use this torn look. And it has an 1/8 of an inch around. And then we have a white piece. And like I said, all your dimensions will be in the PDF. Okay, now you will have 1/4 of an inch, so you have to eyeball that. There we go. Then you will be given a piece that has been run through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the cane look. Now, you're going to get your scissors or your bone folder. I think I used my bone folder. And I did this. I did this on all of it, and it tore and wrinkled. You're going to do that, and you're going to roll it. If you wanted to spritz it with some water to help tear down the fibers, you can do that. But you can start to see that if you're really rough on the edges, it starts breaking down and distressing the edges. So go over the edges a few times. Now, you don't want to do it too much because then you start wearing out the cane look, and you still want the cane look on it. But I really liked the rolled look, so I'm just gonna wet my fingers a little bit. I have ink under my fingernails, and I didn't wash my hair today because that's about the only way you can get the ink out, for me anyway, is to wash my hair. And I don't wash my hair every day. If I did that, I would have a haystack on top of my head. All right, let me get some seal on this. And let's get it on here. Now, this is measured at about 1/8 of an inch also. But it's not going to matter because it's going to be distressed. So once you get it down, just rough it up a little bit more. And there you go. And so with this one, you also have some vellum circles. And the vellum circles just help it, you know, give a little more dimension to it. And what I do with the vellum circles, since you can see through vellum, you know, you don't want to put too much adhesive because you can see through it. So I just put a little bit like this. And then the greenery and the bow and everything's going to go on top of that. So I've already got those put together. So on the inside, we're going to stamp, and then we're going to stamp on this, and we're going to stamp on our label. And our label says, "You're a great friend." So let's go ahead and do the stamping, and then we will die cut our leafy images. And we're using Melon Mambo with this. The Melon Mambo goes great with the peacock. I love the pinky colors. So we're going to hit this circle. There we go. And then we're going to get the inside of this card. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but on the inside of the card, we have the Melon Mambo over here, and then we have a strip of the same DSP that's on the outside. And it's just a strip. Just gives it a little more cohesion, you know, to the front. So let me make sure I got ink all over that. Whew, I like that. Okay, and then make sure that's dry. Let's go ahead and put this on the inside. Then we will stamp our sentiment and sequins, and we will be done. All right, how about that? Oh, we still have to put the die cuts on there. Oh, wait, we need to do our sentiment. Okay. All right. You're a great friend. Let's see if I can get this on straight. Because on my example, I did not. It's kind of crooked. Let's see if I can do this without getting my head into the frame. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Yes. That's great. Okay. Now, let's run some die cuts right quick. I'm going to take the shim out because we don't need it with the leafy. And we're going to do the Melon Mambo and then a white one. Alright, now we got to go ahead and poke that out because we're using the same die cut. Alright. So, here we go. There we go. That came out very easy. And make sure when you place your order and you use the host code, because if you don't use that host code, I am not going to be able to put that host code on there for you. And the host code is what allows me to be able to get the sequins, to be able to send those to you. And if you don't use that host code, I'm not going to be able to send you the sequins and stuff because, you know, those are costly. I mean, they cost me too, you know. So I would just love it if you did the host code. That would really help me out. Okay, where did I do with the... There, right there in front of me. Ooh-wee. Okay, so let's put this together. I'm going to do a little bit of adhesive here. See if I can... Well, I just took that one up. There we go. Do a little of adhesive. And I'm going to put my Melon Mambo. I know I cut the stem off when I did that. I didn't like the way the stem stuck out on that one. And I don't think it even showed with the white one. There we go. Okay, and now with this, I'm going to show you how to do a faux bow. Okay, you take your ribbon and you're going to do this. Just going to twist it. Like you're making, like it's got a bow, like you're tying a bow, but you're not really tying a bow, okay? And there's adhesive down there, so it's sticking onto the adhesive, okay? So now we're going to put some dimensionals, but we're going to watch where we put them. We're going to put one under here and one under here, because we don't want one right under the bow, because it would make it not stick and it would be you know, kind of cattywomp right there. Okay, so here we go. So we've got our faux bow and we have You're a Great Friend. We're going to cut this long right there. Let's see, let's put this one down just a little bit. See if we can fix that bow. There we go. And then sequins. Now on here I put a pink one. And then next to the bushy stuff I put white ones. So there again, if you spend the $50 or more in my store, you will get a whole package of these. And they're great to use on other projects. All right. So there are the 6 projects that we did tonight. Now, here are some projects. This is a project we did at my retreat. It's a pocket card, and this is made with a 6x12 piece of DSP. Here's another one we made. This is a thank you card. And then here's a slimline card we made. This is thinking of all the wonderful things you do. And then here's a just for you card. We made quite a few. Here's one of the very first ones I made. This is a happy birthday card. I think it was the first one I made. And here's one of the simple ones I made. The yellow card. It says, "You're a great friend." Yes, there we go. Well, there you go. That's all the cards I have tonight. I thank you so much for joining me, and maybe next time we won't have technical difficulties. So until next time, thank you so much. My next card class to go will be trucking along, and it will be hopefully back in the online store. If it is not, we will work around that, and we will work with something that is available. So thank you so much, and y'all have a great evening.